Want to do another little quick kind of a Q&A, but it's more like me asking a question and you guys telling me your thoughts on it. I'm gonna share a little bit of my thoughts, but guy on Facebook asked me a set of questions that I thought were really good questions that I'd really like to hear from other people and see what their thoughts are on it. First question he asked is, where do you think the future of low riding is going? I don't know. That's a tough one. I think it's dying. I really do. I think every generation there's less and less and less people that want to get into it. I don't know the reason for sure why that is. I think it's a handful of different things. I think, for one, people don't want, kids today anyway, they don't want hands that look like this. Okay, honestly, they want hands that do this, type real easy and do this a lot. They got real strong thumb skills, but nobody actually wants to get their hands dirty anymore. I mean, when I say nobody, just majority of younger people today. I remember when I was in high school, which was about 12 years ago, getting into auto body class was a big deal for me. It was hard to get in. There was always more kids that wanted to get in than actually could get in. I was lucky enough to get in, which gave me the motivation to do what I do now for a living, and which helps me afford all this junk you see around me. So I really appreciate the fact that I got in. But now, I was talking to my high school shop teacher, and he said that it's hard to find kids that actually want to be in the class, which is kind of sad. And he said the people that are in there, they're there to make an easy grade and slack off. Nobody really wants to do this for a living. So that's just the world that we're in today. Kids don't want to go into a job where they have to hurt their back or do a lot of physical labor, which I get it, you know, be a lot easier not to, but somebody's got to do it. And if you have the ability to do it and halfway have the ambition to do it, it's a good thing to get into. Technology related stuff can be replaced by other technology. A good skilled trade, it's hard to replace with technology. So it's good to know a skill that has value, a physical skill. But in turn, that does mean you're using your body. So I think that's why low riding is dying, is not a lot of people want to work on the stuff. You're running out of shops, reliable shops, to do the work. And if you do find some, usually they're not in your area. There's only really a few shops across the country that are reliable, good shops to work on this stuff. So most of the time you're doing it yourself. Not a lot of people want to do that anymore. And I think there's a lot of negative associations with the lowrider community, which to be honest, I kind of understand. I had trouble getting lowrider magazines as a kid just because of the girls on the front. I mean, let's be honest here. As a 12-year-old kid, I mean, yeah, everybody put the thumbs up to, yeah, it's real cool. And kid looking at half-naked girls, but really it's not cool. There's gonna be plenty of time for younger people to see all that stuff, especially in this world. I mean, it's hard to avoid it. But why do we need to put that stuff in there? I get the adults like it, they think it's cool. Just like at the car shows. You know, I take my young kids to car shows. I mean, whatever, I'm a guy, I get that. But I don't think my kids need to see women with floss sticking up their butt, you know, spreading their parts on somebody's car just to be able to go and enjoy cars. It should be two different worlds. If you want to go to the strip club, go to the strip club. If you want to go to a car show and enjoy cars, you shouldn't have to worry about somebody's nipple falling out in front of your kid. I mean, let's be real. So I do understand the negative things that are associated with it, and it'd be nice to be able to change that. So if you guys want to have these family-friendly car shows, let's be real about it, okay? And I get models. There's a lot of girl models out there that love this kind of stuff. That's cool. Let's be cautious on what you're wearing and what you're doing. There's a lot of younger women that are walking around these shows too that need somebody to look up to. My opinion, that's not the best thing to look up to. So I think there's a few reasons why low riding is dying, but I do think it's dying, and I think it's up to us, the people, that are in it right now to do what they can do to try to save it for the next generation. Be more welcoming to the next generation. Stop talking so much crap to the younger people. And younger people getting into it, stop thinking you know everything, okay? Because you don't. All right, what's your take on lowrider car clubs, local and national? I think they're good for the most part. I think they're really good. To have a group of people into the same things you're into. Goes back to some of the negative things that are in it also, in the lowrider world also. Lowrider car clubs, it ends up being, sometimes from what I've seen, it ends up being more about a gang atmosphere than it needs to be. I mean, again, let's be real. Let's stop sugarcoating the stuff. Lowrider car clubs should be a group of guys that are dedicated to helping one another. Not a group of guys just out walking around looking for a fight, looking to crush the next guy at the car show, you know. Shouldn't be about that. But I think as a whole, car clubs are awesome. They allow people to get support when they need support and have a family outside of their, you know, their normal family. So local in my area, it's way more scattered than it needs to be. There's so many car clubs in my area for the little amount of cars, you know, and people that are out there. So it'd be nice to see a little more unification on that, but we got some good clubs. We do. It'd be nice to see. I think it's getting a lot better. People getting together more. Yeah, you're in different clubs, but we're still the Des Moines area lowriders. So I'd like to see more of that, and I'd like to see that continue to grow locally. But nationally, I think you guys are doing good. Is it the big modifications or details on a car that wins a car show? I'd say it's the big stuff, because no one's even gonna look at your car unless there's some big stuff to look at first. The details is what really keeps them looking, but the big stuff I think is what actually, wow, that's cool. And then they start looking over everything, and I think the details is what eventually will get you enough points to win the show. Big things gotta draw you in, little things gotta actually get you the points. So I guess if the question is if it's the big mods or details that wins the car show, I guess it would be the details then. The more I'm listening to myself talk, it's probably the details. Big stuff, you gotta have the big stuff though to get them to actually look at you. Yeah, I guess the details is what actually gets you the points to win. Next one, last one. Why is there so much hate on someone that builds a car just to win a car show? I don't know. I think there's a lot of jealousy out there, honestly. I think there's a lot of people that can't afford that. I'm one of them. And it's hard to see somebody with the money to put into something that you can't even drive. I mean, really, it's just a showpiece, but I don't hate on anybody for that, personally. I don't hate on anybody. I know there is a lot of hate, and I'm not exactly sure why other than jealousy. If you want to take a 64 Impala SS and put 28s on it and lime green interior, chop the top, and put a speaker on every flat surface that there is in the car, whatever, that's cool. Nice, you're putting in work. That's your style, but not mine. I wouldn't do it to mine, but I'd never hate on anybody for that. Never hate on somebody working on their own car, no matter what they're doing to it. I don't care. But yeah, I think it's got to be jealousy. That's my only take on it. Somebody building a car just as a trailer queen. I mean, you got some serious money in your car, you want to keep it nice, and that's what you enjoy doing, go for it. So, those are the questions. I'd like to hear in the comments from what you guys think. So number one, where do you think lowriding is going in the future? And number two, what's your take on car clubs, lowrider car clubs, in your local area and nationwide? And then, is it the big stuff or the little details that wins a show? And why is there so much hate on show cars? Why do people hate trailer queens? Why is it only about the street cars? Last time I did a Q&A, I had fun listening to everyone's comments, like the what got you into lowriding. I had a lot of fun reading everybody's stuff. So try this again a little bit, see if you guys got any input on it. And if you guys got any more questions you'd like to hear my input on, or you want me to put in like the next video at the end, let me know. Leave them in the comments too, and I'll answer them, and then I'll let you guys tell me your opinion. So we're a pretty small group nationwide. I mean, lowriders are a very small group. And I think that's why a lot of lowrider channels don't get a huge subscriber count versus other stuff, because it's so small. So it's nice to hear from everybody, to see what everybody's opinion is and thoughts are and stuff. So yeah, keep the hate to a minimum. Okay.